Hello again, good friends. Brian from Apex Detail. This is yet another installment of Mail Call. So many wonderful questions rolling in. Keep them coming. I'm going to try to get all of them. I hate to leave a question unanswered. I know some are a day or two out, and one way I can remedy that is to release one of these every day or every other day, along with my other regular content. It'll just be another video I have to run through editing, which will lengthen the day, but you guys are worth it. Let's get started here. Jeff Greenlee wants to know, Brian, love the channel, but my head is spinning here. Can you give me just one product to take care of the finish of my car? I wish the question was a little bit more specific. Do you mean after the wash process or the wash process, decontamination process, and protection process? Not sure which one you were referring to, but let me give you two avenues that you can take. The first one, grab a bottle of Sonax BSD, Brilliant Shine Detailer. That can be diluted in many ways, and you can watch my dedicated video on the product. You could use it for a rinseless wash, clay lube, quick detailer, a standalone sealant, polymer sealant. You could use it for any one of those. So that's one product that can care for the finish of your car. Another avenue that you can take, pick up some Car Pro Reset. That'll take care of the wash process. It's no bells and whistles. That thing is just straight up cleaning power. No scent, no color, no ridiculous concentration to build up a mountain of foam on your car. It's just there to clean. So wash your car with that, and then grab yourself a gallon of Technician's Choice, and that is Tech 582. And I do have a designated video on that as well, showing how to dilute that. Many ways to use, again, as a rinseless wash, quick detailer, standalone sealant. The difference between that one and Sonax is a polymer sealant. Technician's Choice is an SiO2 sealant, so you get a little bit more durability out of the protection. Next question is from Dave. Hey Brian, excellent videos. Truly appreciate the hard work. If I apply a sealant, which would be Wolfgang's paint sealant, could I then apply Turtle Wax Ice on top of that? Would you apply the sealant as a foundation, which would be Wolfgang, and then in between apply Turtle Wax as maintenance? I'm not sure which Turtle Wax Ice you're speaking of, Dave, the quick detailer, the spray wax, or Seal and Shine. If it's Seal and Shine you're talking about, which is the more popular one, then we're talking about two sealants that do the same thing. So pick either one, either the Wolfgang paint sealant or Turtle Wax Seal and Shine. And if you want something, if you like to work on your car like I do, and you want something to do in between for maintenance, you can get the Turtle Wax Spray Wax or the Quick Detailer, or Wolfgang even has a few of those in their line, and then you could do something every other wash to add on top of that. I'm not a huge guy for stacking. The next question is from Bob Catil, and he has used DPC Flash, which is an all-in-one that already has a little bit of protection in it. And then he topped that with Meguiar's Ultimate Fast Finish, and wants to know if he can use Turtle Wax Ice, Seal and Shine every other wash or so to maintain. Again, you already have a little bit of the protection in the Flash. And you put Meguiar's fast Finish on top of that. That is already a sealant on its own. So use one or the other. Either the Fast Finish or the Turtle Wax Ice, Seal and Shine. And then if you feel like you like to work on the car and you have the need to do something every other wash or so, pick up a Quick Detailer. But when you have a seal on there and you go to a wax or a quick detailer, just remember it's always going to be a step backwards. You're going to hide the characteristics of that quality sealant, and then it's going to take on the characteristic of the wax or quick detailer that you put on top of that. All right, next question comes from Ron Coleman. That's has to do with the Griot's Garage G9 polisher. Brian, have you experienced any excessive vibration between speed setting 5 and 6? There is a little bit of a vibration problem with that polisher. The sweet spot for me on my polisher is in between the 3rd and the 4th speed setting, where it's minimal. The problem with that polisher is there's too much space in between where the gearbox is and where the polisher meets the backing plate. It's going to be higher. I'll show you a picture here quick of this polisher next to another one. It's a lot of space there, a lot of real estate to cover between the gearbox and that backing plate. And they added a fan in there as well, don't forget. So all of that together adds up to a little bit of a vibration problem that they're going to have to address sooner or later. The next question comes from Tom. Is Angel Wax Enigma all-in-one and a Eurofiber 50/50 pad too aggressive on a one-year-old Audi's paint, going after just some mild swirls and light scratches? You can go with the all-in-one. That is a fantastic one-step right there, or all-in-one. Instead of the 50/50 pad, if you can get your hands on a Buff and Shine white perforated foam polish pad, it's a perfect way to start and see if it will remove minor blemishes. You don't want to remove any more than you have to. If it's something that can't touch and will not remove the imperfections you're looking to get out of there, then jump up to the 50/50 pad. But then only do it once. Then put into practice some very careful wash and drying techniques, so you don't put any more love marks, as I like to call them, in there and have to polish them back out again. Next question comes from John. Hope you can help, Brian. What would be the best coating to use on a car that gets run on a track and at a drag strip? Keep rubber from flying up from the tires and sticking to the quarter panels. And that's a great question, because I do have a few customers that run their cars at the track. Those are the few customers where I apply a PPF or Clear Bra or paint protection film. I don't personally like it myself. I don't like the lines. I don't like it unless things can be taken apart. We could tuck everything in and everything's hidden. But I don't like a film covering paint that I spent a lot of time protecting. I don't even like coatings covering paint that I spent a lot of time correcting. But in that case, IGL Kenzo would be the one I recommend. Unfortunately, you can't order that and put that on. IGL Eclipse would be another one. So if it's something that you can order, I would go and take a look at Kamikaze, ISM, and Miyabi. Those two together, I believe, would be your best bet. Team up with those two and really put some protection on your car. Paint protection film down in those areas are good help. A quick tip, if you don't want to mess with either one of those, spray a little bit of olive oil or PAM down in the bottom quarter panels there where the rubber's going to be flying up. It's a quick tip. I tell my customers that go to the track, they spray that on before they go. The rubber flies up. It normally doesn't stick. A high percentage, 98% of the rubber will not stick and can be rinsed as soon as you get home. So that's just a quick tip for you. Okay, Wayne Hanshu wants to know what he can use on his 2012 GMC Sierra that he just purchased. Very light swirls that he wants to go after and some small scratches, but he wants to strip it down first. He wants to know what he could use to decontaminate it and strip it of old waxes and sealants that the car lot could have put on there. It's a good question. The 3M panel prep is excellent and very effective of stripping those old waxes and sealants off. Another two products for that you could look into, Meguiar's and Carbright, have decent panel preps. Now, when you want to decontaminate any iron remover, you can even use Meguiar's Mirror Bright wheel cleaner is a good ferrous metal remover to decontaminate it. So those two there will get the panel to where you want it, so you could start correcting, get rid of those light scratches and love marks. Brock Medill wants to know which he should purchase, a 15mm or 21mm throw polisher. That really depends. I have to ask you, what are you going to be using it for? A 21mm is what I'll grab if I have a vehicle with large panels that I want to get done quickly. Do you work on a lot of cars? Do you work on a lot of larger vehicles like RVs or trailers or boats where you need a large throw like that? Other than that, if you're just going to use sparingly, I would go with the 15mm. You can get it into smaller areas because you have to remember the oscillation or the throw is going to be quite larger than a 15mm. So that's not going to be able to fit where you could fit a 15mm. Keep that in mind when you make your purchase. I would lean towards the 15mm throw. Okay, Justin Kais lives in Texas and he's got the love bug season down there. Wants to know what he can use to safely clean off bugs during that season. Well, there are two things that I would recommend. The first one I just did a dedicated video on. The Seafoam is very effective. Spraying it on there and just watching it eat that stuff away and run down the front of your car, and you can rinse it. And then if it's really bad, then you can agitate. But something you can use, that's another option you can pick up just about anywhere, are these guys. But this is the Bug Eraser from Stoner. I don't use exactly like the label intends. You take out a sheet, and as you'll see here, one side is blue, the other side's a light color. You unfold the towel until the light blue surface of the towel is facing up. Then you grab 2 ounces of water. I always have a spring bottle rolling somewhere from my kid under my seat, so I'll open one of his up, put 2 ounces on there or somewhere close to 2 ounces, and then get it wet. And what I'll do is I'll just lay it on the area that has the bugs, the panel that has the bugs, and just dab it and let the concentration from this panel here, or this little towellet, get on the area, and it'll start. Whatever's on here, guys, is very effective at breaking down that bug guts. But I don't use this then to wipe it off. This is a little bit firm, a little bit too harsh for me, so I carry a bunch of nice plush microfibers. I'll let this little solution dwell on the panel for a bit and then remove it with a nice soft microfiber. I hope that helps you. Okay, the next question is a good one. This is one I really want to address. Zach White wants to know if he can do an all-in-one on his car every 6 to 12 months. Zach, do your correction. Use an all-in-one or whatever it takes to do that correction one time, and then protect it. And then concentrate on using care methods that will not put any more marks, love marks, scratches in there. Do the best you can. Combine the 5 mitt technique that I use if you want to, or a 2 bucket. And then when you go to dry it, use a leaf blower. The least amount of times you touch the car during the wash process, hey, that's going to cut back on marring and scratching. But using it all-in-one every 6 months, eventually you're going to take that clear coat down so thin it's not going to be able to protect that gorgeous base coat anymore. So I like to correct once, and then I tell my customer, listen, after I correct it, this is it. You're going to have to put in practice some very careful aftercare techniques to stop blemishes from getting in there. Some you can help, some you won't be able to help, but we'll address that later. So I hope that helps you. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this installment of Mail Call. Again, I'm going to put my email down below. Keep them coming in. If I have to, I will put one of these out every day or every other day to keep up. I know 1 or 2 of these questions was answered a bit later than they would have liked to, but I'm trying to get to these as quick as I can. So I will remedy the problem and get these out in a timely manner to answer your questions face-to-face. This is a platform that I could use to get the answers to you that make sense a little bit more than just words typed that could mean one thing or another if you're really not sure. So Brian from Apex Detail, keep the questions coming in, and I'll catch you in the next video. If you are enjoying the content, be sure to like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell. That will let you know when we have fresh content for you to view.